Yeah, November 8th, 2023. And that's why, it's Crystal Storms now. Yeah, I'm embracing my American Indian heritage. On my father's side, Keith Storms. Even though his family tossed me away like I was trash too. They didn't care about me. But whatever, I care. I care. I would love to meet any of them or find out more about them. I used to sleep in the same crib with one of my cousins on my father's side of the family. I met her once or twice. Went to a party that was in the projects 135, I think it was, over there by Fifth Ave or something like that. And in the projects, she took me and gave me some weed. Long story. I mean, we was teenagers. I was like 15, she was 16. We used to share a crib together, my mother told me at one time. Play in the same crib. I would love to see my family from my father's side, American, or whatever, if they wanted to. But anyway, I also want to say about the safe space for American kids, community. That will be our community when we come together, my black people, and peacefully protest and peacefully file lawsuits, follow my American Indian ancestors' lead, that we can have a safe space where our kids can grow up without being shot at, without being terrorized, without being sold drugs by the Latinos, and that the whites let in and make money off too, and the cops make money off too, without being terrorized by the Muslim terrorism, or the like the African terrorism of we don't like you, we want you to leave, huh? For no reason at all, other than she didn't want to stop the bullying and she wanted to look important. A woman who was illiterate and throws mice in the hallway. She can't read or write and throws mice in the hallway. I think she's a factory worker. I'm not hating on her. A job is a job, but I'm trying to be a business owner, and you don't even bother to stop your people from doing all this wrong shit to make yourself look important. Guess what, my people? We should leave. And guess what? We'll also we'll also allow limited immigration. Limited immigration after we get our community set up. Because why I say that? All of our people are not educated. We need to learn. Some of those people have helped us and taught us across history. Remember history. So we will allow immigration of American Indians because they're my ancestors. They suffered too. They can teach us about the land, how to live off the land, and the history, the real history of America, going back their history, which is we know is indigenous history. We need to learn about the land, living off the land, respecting the land. We will allow limited immigration. We'll allow immigration, but it'll be limited, period, across the board. So it's not like this one gets favor. Nobody gets favor. It'll be limited, but it will be across the board. We'll allow immigration of Jewish people. Why? Jewish people don't come across the border, sneak in the country, and they can help teach us business. Their business practices. Business practices. They can work with the black Jews, and the black Jews work with the Jewish Jews, and teach our young men and our young women business practices. We'll allow immigration of Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans don't cut our throat. I still remember Puerto Rican dude one day stood up for me in a Dominican store where I was trying to get a hot chocolate, and the guy behind the counter didn't speak English. And he was just going to skip over me and go to the next Dominican customer because he didn't speak English. And I said, let me get a hot chocolate. And then I said, dame un chocolate caliente. That was the best I could do. He still didn't understand me when I said, dame un chocolate caliente. With un azúcar. He didn't understand why, I don't know. And he just started skipping over me to the pretty Dominican girl with the big butt. And the Puerto Rican dude standing there was watching. So he said, yo, but she's next. That's wrong. That's wrong. You can't do that, just skip over like that. Because Puerto Ricans know how things go here in America. They've been American a long time ago. And I ain't never had a Puerto Rican try to cut my throat. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect. They do some grimy shit too. My husband's Puerto Rican and his family. But, whatever, I'm not, in other words, they don't work against the black community. That's what I'm saying. The ones who do that main selling of the drugs, it wasn't started in Puerto Rico either. That's what I'm saying. That came from the other Latino communities. No, we're not going to allow immigration from any place that has anything to do with a drug trade or terrorism. None of that. And we will also allow immigration of white Americans. Not the anchor baby folks with their motivations always to subvert and sabotage our communities. Because I'm telling you, white folks also stood up for us, some of them. And they will all be they will be definitely checked out before they're allowed. They will have to do 2 years, a year or two, we'll decide, of volunteer work in the National Guard, protecting the community and spreading the word. At least 2 years, year and a half, something like that. We'll figure it out. Of volunteer work. Yes, 2 years. In the community and out in their communities, spreading the true history of Black Americans and the true history of their people's abuse. Because they know what their people do against Black Americans. Some of them stood against it and are in our corner. And we welcome them. But if you are even thinking of coming to sabotage our community, don't come. Because if you are a sex predator, don't come. Because that is the safe space for American Kids community where every child there will be safe. Whether they're Jewish, Puerto Rican, Black, American, Indian, or white. But do not come thinking you're going to sabotage because you'll be watched very closely. And if you do, you'll lose everything. Everything there. Everything. So don't even bother to come. If you're looking for safe space for kids, come and do what you do. Grown-ups, do what you do. But leave the kids out of it. God bless America. We love y'all. Amen.